Operation Severed Wheel had dealt a massive blow against the Advent Authority. There was no more mystery about the intent of the Avatar project. We had come face to face with the final product. The ethereals, slowly dying from some sort of degenerative disease, were using human DNA as the basis for their new bodies. The Avatar had been powerful, but our operatives had proven to be more than a match for it in the end. While we didn't yet have the staff and equipment we needed to properly study the thing, the mere fact that we had been able to defeat it had revitalized our entire organization. Our allies and the support staff were suddenly working overtime, and we could barely keep up with the sudden flood of alliance requests coming in from both Europe and North America. In what seemed like the blink of an eye, our communications network had completely stretched across all of Europe and into the United States, leaving us just one step short of total global coverage. Unfortunately, our most recent success also seemed to mark a turning point for Advent. We had already heard rumors, but Blightwalker was the one who confirmed it. The Elders weren't happy, and we had now earned their undivided attention. I was tempted to just dismiss Blightwalker's warning. After all, it was hardly the first time he had tried to intimidate us, but something seemed different this time. He wasn't snarky or sarcastic like he usually was. In fact, he wasn't even smiling. He just delivered the message and then broke off the communication without even waiting for a response. We redoubled our efforts to prepare for the inevitable final confrontation. Our covert ops team had just returned from skirmisher territory, so we quickly began implementing the new beam weapon upgrades that Bedos had sent our way. Afterwards, the Templars invited us to participate in one of their strange ritualistic training exercises that they guaranteed would somehow expand our operatives' minds. I was a bit leery of the offer, but Colonel Phoenix volunteered to try it out, and I sent along Dr. Karlsdottir to supervise the process and make sure everything was safe. Shortly afterwards, word came up from the Psi Labs that Deus had finally completed his training. He was the third and likely the last of the Magisters who would be joining our ranks. The Psi Labs were now empty, and while we certainly could have started training a new batch of volunteers, it seemed very unlikely that their training would be complete before the war had finally reached a decisive end. Before much longer, we received our end-of-month report from the spokesman. Our global network was bringing in an incredible volume of supplies at this point, enough to finish almost every remaining project we had pending down in the engineering department. Advent seemed to be following a similar course, which did give some weight to the Hunter's warning. The Elders were channeling a vast amount of resources into improving their army of peacekeepers in every conceivable way. We had always been engaged in an arms race with the Advent Authority, but now it had been kicked into overdrive. In their haste to funnel resources into their new military expansion, they had inadvertently revealed the location of one of their hidden supply depots, and of course we leapt at the chance to take advantage of their mistake. An undercover operative was already on site, ready to guide in our strike team before Advent could finish evacuating all of their equipment. Our Psi soldiers were all too exhausted or injured to come along this time, so I tasked Mox with putting together a suitable raiding party. Mox brought in Kharn and Sergeant Varnas for long-range support, with Fireball and Shellshock tagging along in case Advent had any armored units on site. Fresh off of one of our covert operations, Sergeant Try Again Morgan filled in at the last moment as the squad's medic. Morgan was the last one aboard the Sky Ranger, flashing us all a goofy grin as he straightened out his ridiculous aviator's goggles. His confidence was infectious, and the Sky Ranger was filled with cross-chatter as our operatives laughed and joked and praised their assorted gods, bloody or otherwise. Given our track record, I had no reason to doubt that they would succeed, just like they always did, but for some reason I just couldn't get Blightwalker's warning out of my head.
We have a reliable source reporting that Advent has a resupply operation in progress in this region. They're airlifting supply crates out of a secured area, and if we move quickly, we can probably grab a few for ourselves. Mark the crates for pickup, and Firebrand will handle the heavy lifting. Advent forces are in the process of airlifting a number of supply crates out of this area, and we have an opportunity here to take a few for ourselves. Locate and mark the crates with transponders, and Firebrand will handle the rest.
Hey, RetconRaider here, and welcome back to episode 42. Today it looks like we're taking on a supply raid, but not a normal supply raid. This one appears to be a variant that's introduced in the War of the Chosen expansion. In normal supply raids, you just have to avoid destroying the crates full of supplies, and then you automatically recover them at the end of the... Oh, hold on. Okay, we've got our first Advent pod in sight. Looks like it's just an Andromedan and an elite trooper. The Andromedan's a definite bullet sponge, but overall it's nothing we can't handle.
No need to ask twice.
We'll focus on bringing up our entire squad for now, and then we'll probably end up attacking them next turn. At any rate, as I was saying, in a normal supply raid, you just have to avoid destroying the supply crates. But in this version of the supply raid, you have to actively recover the supply crates before Advent can evacuate them.
Location confirmed.
It's a pretty fun twist that actively encourages the player to use a more aggressive playstyle. Okay, the enemy pod moved directly away from us, which is a bit problematic. We could still attack them, but I'm not sure I want to risk accidentally setting off a second pod. While we won't have any trouble taking down an Andromedan, it is the sort of enemy that will require an entire round's worth of concentrated firepower. And the last thing we'd need while we're doing that is other enemies running around underfoot. Oh, okay, there's actually a pretty nice sniper perch off to the left here. Let's go ahead and start moving our squad towards that building. We'll try to keep an eye on the Andromedan, but we're not going to attack it this turn. We'll hit it once it starts heading back in our direction.
Moving to designated position.
Already there. Moving to position. Closing on target position now.
Okay, everyone's in position. Let's get them all on Overwatch, just in case.
On Overwatch. Non-EV. I'm on it.
And now it's time to see what Advent does. The Andromedan's still headed directly away from us, so I guess we might have to come up with another plan. Oh, or maybe not. Hold on a second. We've got two pods clustered together right on the other side of that train. While I'm usually leery of triggering two pods at once, I think this is an opportunity we can't really afford to pass up. Let's move Shellshock a little closer and hit all four of these guys with an acid grenade.
Boom!
Okay, that did a bit of damage, stripped off a lot of armor, and put an ongoing acid debuff on both enemy pods. Well, except for the Andromedan. He took damage from the acid bomb, but he's immune to the debuff. Now let's start taking these guys down as efficiently as possible. We'll start by focusing fire on the mech, since it's right up front. That's not a bad start. And since Varnas doesn't have the quick draw perk, he'll have to take his second shot with his sniper rifle. Okay, let's see if he can take out the mech. Nice. We're definitely off to a good start here. It looks like the shield bearer is standing out in the open, so let's see if we can take him down real quick. no luck there. Okay, let's bring Fireball up front and she can take a shot at someone.
Orders confirmed. Moving out.
Well, not with those chances to hit. We'll come back to Fireball in a moment. Okay, Kharn's got the Shred Storm cannon, so let's bring him up and see if he can clear out some of that cover. There we go. That should clear out the cover and kill the shield bearer in one shot. Wait, what? Oh, okay. One of the supply crates must be in the line of fire. Alright, well, we don't want to destroy our supplies, so let's try to take these guys down with good old-fashioned gunfire. Kharn, man, what happened? Oh, I forgot to pray to the blood gods. Alright, well, let's try again. Blood for the blood god?
I'll get him next time.
Well, not bad, but it definitely could have been better. I think the blood god might be mad at us. Let's go ahead and have Mox use teamwork. That way Kharn will get another action. Then we'll have Mox use his grappling hook to get up to an elevated position.
Changing position.
And we'll keep whittling away at the Andromedan. Though, let's try to hit it with a free whiplash attack first.
Suffer.
Okay, well, let's just try to shoot it now. There we go. It was a solid hit this time, but the thing's still standing. Shadowfall gets a pretty big boost to accuracy, so Kharn should be able to finish it off with that. Blood for the blood god. Alright, that takes care of the first form of the Andromedan. Now it's time to see if Try Again can hack the suit. If we can move him somewhere where he has line of sight. Okay, let's just use Icarus Jump to get him into a better position. How far can he actually go with this? Oh, that should work. Alright, let's hit that thing with Haywire Protocol.
Activate Haywire.
We might as well go all out. Let's try to take control of the thing. Nice.
Taking control. We're through.
Okay, we can't do anything with the Andromedan immediately, but the important thing is now it'll be an active decoy to draw enemy fire. Fireball still doesn't have a good shot, so we'll just set her on Overwatch.
Moving to Overwatch.
And I guess Advent gets a turn.
Advent has already marked a couple of crates for extraction. If we move quickly, we may be able to mark them for ourselves and prevent their airlift.
Looks like our decoy is already working. And the shield bearer just tossed out some ablative shields. No surprise there. What's going on here? Is the hunter showing up? I guess not. That was kind of strange. Okay, Advent has started marking crates, so we need to push up more aggressively.
I'm on the move.
Good work. Advent's locator is down and our transponder is active. Firebrand will handle the pickup.
Nice. That gets us one crate of supplies and knocks the shield bearer off the board. Now we'll have Kharn take another shot at that trooper. Skulls for the Skull Throne. There we go.
Hostile target down. I'm busted.
Kharn is a temperamental god, but his lust for blood always wins in the end. That takes care of all the currently visible enemies, so let's start bringing the rest of our squad up. We'll need to move fast, because at this point Advent is going to be marking new crates every couple of turns.
Moving far. Roger that.
We'll keep the Andromedan suit where it is, because we don't want it spreading a trail of acid everywhere. We'll just kill it next turn. Okay, that marks another crate for retrieval. Now let's get everyone else on Overwatch.
Overwatch. Firebrand is on deck for recovery. Keep marking those crates, Menace 1-5.
That's pretty much it. We just need to keep moving up, marking crates as we go. But of course, we have to be careful. There's still 9 enemies on the field. We'll bring Fireball up and then have her put a quick shot into the Andromedan. Oh, there's Hair Trigger, so...
Target eliminated.
That takes care of that. Now let's start moving everyone else up.
On your order. What's over there? On the move.
But I think we'll leave Varnas where he is. He's got long watch and an elevated position, so he should be fine right there.
I will watch.
Let's get everyone on Overwatch again.
Affirmative. Covering now.
Oh, shoot.
They're moving as quickly as they can to get those crates. If we want our share, we'll have to move just as fast. That is not good. Together.
Come on now.
I have failed us.
Wow, I don't think we landed a single Overwatch hit there. But at least we managed to freak out one of the Archons. Alright, we've got 2 Archons and another Andromedan on the field. And then we've got another Advent pod right behind them, but it hasn't activated just yet. The first thing we need to do is bring Shellshock up so he can hit them with another grenade. The Archon and the Andromedan have parked themselves right next to a forklift, so it's an ideal time to hit them with explosives.
Advent forces on the ground.
But of course, that did activate the other pod. That's fine. We knew that was going to happen. Now let's lob a plasma grenade over there, making sure we're not hitting any crates.
Throwing grenade.
Okay. Now let's have Try Again immediately neutralize that Advent Priest.
Deploying the jack.
Very nice. Well, he's going to take a small amount of feedback damage, but that's okay. The important thing is that he took out the priest in one hit.
The armor held.
Now let's see if we can finish off that Archon. The Stun Lancer is pretty expendable, so we'll let him take a shot first. Unfortunate. Well, let's take a quick look at some of our other options here. Okay, we don't want Advent to get away with these crates, so let's go ahead and use Run and Gun to get Fireball over to one of them. We'll go with the farther of the two, since I'm not entirely sure she'll be safe if I move her up to the closer one. But that puts her out of firing range, so let's grab the crate and we'll put her back under concealment.
They won't see a thing. Roger, I've got my eyes on.
We'll come back to Varnos in a moment. First, let's have Mox lay down some fire. I was hoping he'd be able to neutralize the Andromedan with his freeze grenade. Let's just take out the Archon instead.
I must improve.
Well, alright then. Let's give that another try. It's still standing, but if we're lucky, the poison will end up taking it out. Unfortunately, I'm not sure we can really risk taking that chance. Okay, time to play hardball. Let's bring Kharn up, and he can put that Treadstorm cannon to use.
Moving to position.
There we go. That's perfect.
Shredding.
That takes care of the Archon. Now we just need to... Okay, we can have Varnos use Teamwork for his first action. Then he can use his second action to launch a Blaster Bomb.
No retreat.
Now let's blow up that Andromedan. Actually, let's have Shellshock take a shot at the Andromedan first. He might actually be able to kill it in one shot with his heavy cannon. Nice.
Check it before you get too close.
That thing's much less of a threat now that it can't use its gun. Now we'll have Varnos fire off that heavy weapon, but we'll use it to soften up the Trooper and the Archon. I guess we lose that crate. That's a shame.
Advent just airlifted out their first crate. We're gonna have to move fast if we want to get the rest. Put it into play. Unless they leave us no choice, we should try to avoid damaging the crates if we want to bring home anything useful.
Okay, that wasn't too bad. Our double agent took a hit, and Try Again took some minor damage.
Moving to position.
We'll keep Fireball focused on collecting crates while the rest of the squad takes down the Andromedan.
On the move.
In fact, Kharn might actually be able to finish it off with his pistol.
Target neutralized.
And there we go. Now we just need to knock out the trooper and that panicking Archon. I guess we should keep pushing up too, so we can keep marking crates.
Moving to position. Advent forces on the ground.
Oh no. Well, that was a mistake. Okay, let's immediately try to neutralize that heavy mech.
Let's take it.
We'll just go for the stun.
Let's get it. We're in.
Now we need to neutralize some of these other guys as well.
Take care of it.
Let's have the Lancer take a shot at that wounded trooper over there. Man, that double agent is useless. I think that's his third miss in a row. Okay, we'll bring up Mox and have him take out the trooper instead. There we go.
Take from the Elder stock. I must have ammunition.
Now let's bring Shell Shock up a little closer.
I guess that'll be okay.
And he can drop a blaster bomb on top of the Gatekeeper. He can also hit the heavy mech while he's at it, and he might be able to hit this trooper over here on the side. It's got all three enemies highlighted, but I'm not 100% certain that blast radius is actually touching all of them. I guess we'll take our chances.
Right behind you.
Nice, that did end up hitting all three of them. Oh, and somehow I completely missed the fact that there's a guy standing in that window there. Now we can have Varnas lay down some... He actually doesn't have very good chances to hit here. Okay, we'll just put him on Overwatch.
Yeah, I didn't get it.
Oof, Morgan just took a pretty nasty hit there.
I'm under fire!
Yeah, we're gonna need to pull him back as soon as we get the chance. Oh no!
No!
Ah, man.
I'm not! No!
Poor Morgan. Well, nothing we can do about it now, so let's just stay focused on keeping the rest of the squad alive. At this point, I'm not sure if we can afford to waste any more actions going after crates. I think we're just going to need to concentrate on taking out these enemies. We'll start by having Varnas take a shot at the Archon. Not bad. A grazing hit with a poison debuff. Now let's have Ah, okay, Mox needs to reload. Yeah, he'll use his first action to reload, and hopefully he can take out the Archon with his second action. Of course.
I will not fail you again.
Okay, let's bring the expendable Lancer up front. He'll mark that crate. And now we'll see if he can finish someone off. That's miss number 4. But at least he marked a crate, so he did something useful. Let's see if we can get Fireball in there. She can get up onto the rooftop with her grappling hook. Yeah, let's do that.
Going up.
And now we'll have her neutralize the Gatekeeper with Frostbite. Nice. Now let's see what else she can do here. She has a pretty good chance of taking out this trooper with a Blade Rush, but that would put her in a very exposed position. Let's just have her take a shot at that other trooper. Nice. Things are finally moving in the right direction again. Now let's bring Kharn up a little closer and...
I'm on it.
Damn it, I can't just ignore that crate, so let's have Shellshock run over there and mark it.
On it.
Now we'll have Kharn take out the Archon, hopefully. Thank you.
Target eliminated.
Oh, right, but he didn't have line of sight to anyone else. Sorry, I guess I'm just not thinking straight after we lost Morgan. That did 5 damage to half our squad and brought back a couple of zombies. But on the bright side, it also inflicted 12 damage on the Gatekeeper. Also, welcome back, Varnas. XCOM operatives never get to rest in peace. Okay, first things first, let's take out this trooper here. Nice.
Hostile terminated.
Now let's get Shellshock back into the fight.
If you say so.
He'll drop his last grenade on top of the Gatekeeper. And Morgan, I guess. Sorry, Morgan.
Yeah, catch.
Someone should really put Morgan back to rest here. Okay, Varnas can take care of it.
Well, how about that?
We might as well take out the other zombie, too.
Their service is over.
I could freeze the Gatekeeper again, but it's got partial immunity, so let's just shoot it instead. Wow, this is just not our day. Let's have Kharn start shooting chunks off the gatekeeper. Looks like his pistol actually does more damage, so we'll go with that.
Armor still holding. Adjusting sights.
Well, that didn't really work out either. I think it's time for a bold move here. We need to recover Morgan's body, so we'll toss out an evac zone and try to get our double agent over there. If we're lucky, he can pick up that loot, recover Morgan's body, and then evac. He's practically dead anyway. Of course. I had to give it a shot. Okay. The gatekeeper used all its actions on movement. That's a bit weird. And the mech went on Overwatch. We can definitely handle that. Let's take out that heavy mech. Fireball's immune to Overwatch, so there's no risk involved. There we go.
X-ray neutralized.
And as a bonus, you can mark another crate. Now let's take out the gatekeeper, but first we should move Mox away from it. We've already taken quite enough damage for one mission. In fact, let's bring Mox over here. He can grab the loot and maybe he can recover Morgan's body while he's at it.
I go as ordered.
Oh, a superior repeater. That's nice.
I have it.
Unfortunately, it doesn't look like he can actually pick up Morgan's body from where he's standing. So I guess he'll just have to do something else. He's got a pretty bad chance to hit, so let's have Kharn take that last shot instead. Blood for the blood god. Come on, blood god, work with me here. Thank you.
Status confirmed. Mission accomplished. Excellent work.
Wow, that was a rough one. I mean, we came away with a lot of loot, but I definitely got too greedy. I'll have to be more careful about that in the future.
Even now, our enemy lurks in the shadows, plotting to destroy all we have built, to return us to the chaos of the old world. Only together can we oppose them. United in the Elders' love for us, we shall prevail, no matter the cost.
Our friend from the Resistance is becoming one of our most trusted veterans. It's a testament to our cause.
Wow, Bradford, nothing to say about our casualty? That's cold, man. Rest in peace, Sergeant Morgan. Operation Starchild. Well, it was a success, I suppose. Our men had swooped in and laid waste to the Advent peacekeepers the same way they always did. Advent had managed to evacuate a few of their supplies at the last minute, but the lion's share of their equipment had been left behind for us to salvage. It was hard to say if it had really been worth it. I knew that we were in the midst of a war, and wars always had their casualties. I guess it had just been so long since we had actually lost an operative in the field that I had made the mistake of starting to think of our soldiers as somehow being unkillable. Sergeant John Try-Again Morgan had been a staple of our covert ops teams, and he would be sorely missed. Much as his confidence had been infectious aboard the Sky Ranger, his death had cast a pall over the entire Avenger. At the very least, there was some consolation in knowing that his body had been recovered from the field, so at least we'd be able to give him a proper funeral. Tygan was quick to claim the body, insisting that he would take care of all the necessary arrangements. I didn't fight him on it. If anything, it was a refreshing glimpse of humanity from our often monstrously inhumane science officer. Like I said before, this was apparently a turning point in our war against Advent. We had thoroughly roused the ire of the Elders, and they were focusing the full brunt of their wrath on our organization. Sergeant Morgan was just the latest casualty in our war to liberate the planet, and I was starting to become worried that he would be far from the last.